If your kids are growing and you need a bit more space, or your family's growing and you've got another one on the way, then we thought we'd give you 5 mistakes to avoid with our experience of selling properties in the local area. First one, don't leave it too late. Often, if you are expecting, you'll have a lot of other things on your plate as you come to the due date, and the last thing you'll want to be doing is thinking about trying to get your property ship-shape and shiny for viewings. So we'd recommend, whilst you're both at work, perhaps take that consideration to get your property listed on the market, get sold and get moved into your new abode ready for the due date. Now, if you are further along and that's not an option for you, and you found that your new addition's now with you and you need more space, don't worry, we can still help. It's not a problem, it's something we can assist with. But if you do get the choice, we found that people have found it easier by getting the property on the market at the earliest opportunity. We also find it's important not to stretch yourself on that next purchase. You're going to consider for a period of time, one of you will possibly be off work. Therefore, whilst you will have some maternity pay, you might find when you get to the point where you're due to go back to work that actually life looks different. You don't want to work full time anymore, you want to work reduced hours. So you need to consider what your income is going to be like to support that property and the repayments on that property. So don't stretch yourself, make sure you look for something that's affordable now, but also will be affordable in the future, subject to how you choose it to be. Then also, you might want to consider, even at the earliest stage, if you're expecting your first, perhaps consider school catchments. You might want to hold on to the property for 5, 6, 12 years even. So get the school catchments into your peripheries now and start searching for a property that's going to be in the right location for you. Not just in terms of the space it offers and the facilities and amenities nearby, but also consider what catchment area that gets you into. On our website, you'll have the opportunity for any property that we list, and if we advertise your property also for your property, you can go to an area called locating. It's a bit like a Google map, but it will show you nearby schools and bus routes and facilities nearby. But it will show you what local catchment your property falls in, and also where the next property that you're looking to buy or even rent, where that falls in as well. We also think it's recommended to consider the size of the property you need to purchase. You might want to consider almost taking a step that's 2 up on the ladder rather than just the first step. Now that could be because new addition or twins need extra space, and then you'd need to kind of move again in the next 5 years. If you can do it, I would recommend searching for a property that allows you to have space to grow into. Even though you're taking the next step now, try and do it so you don't need to take another step again. I don't want to do myself out of any business, but it's good advice for you. And then also, if your property is lived in, if you've got kids already, if you've had a new addition and you have all the paraphernalia that goes with it, don't worry. Don't worry about having to have the property immaculate for viewings. Properties that are lived in sell just as well. We'll give you advice on the things that you might want to try and move out the way for some viewings. If you've got a pushchair in the hallway, it's not a great first impression when the door gets opened. So we might say, pop that in the car before the first viewing comes through the door. But we can advise on those things. At the end of the day, you've got to live your life. You don't have to stop living when you list your property on the market. We'll make sure your property is presented to the best possible way with our photography, with our virtual tours, with our reels that we do. Don't worry if on the viewing you've got a couple of bits out that weren't there for the photos. Hope that's very helpful. So we hope that once it's all gone through, once you've completed on your move, you're going to experience some of these feelings. Firstly, you would have found the property that's suitable with all the right space for you. It is a tricky thing to make sure you get right, but viewings, virtual tours, floor plans, all of these things will help you consider how many extra toys you get when the family grows. All these things you need to consider, is there enough cupboard space? But once you've moved, we hope you'll look back and think, we got it right, we've got the space that we need, we've got room to grow. We also hope you have considered and found something that's got great amenities nearby, great places to walk, great grass to go off and run around and play on, and also if it's schools involved, that you've got yourself into a good school catchment for a school that's got a good Ofsted rating and great opportunities for your little ones. And also we've hoped that you've enjoyed the process and would do it again. It may come about, it may be that you do need to go again. We've worked with clients, in my 18 years I've worked with clients 3 or 4 times where they've moved and then moved and moved again. So it does happen, and we hope that you've had such an experience that you'll come back to us and use the services again. Also, we hope that you look back and feel like you did time it right. Obviously, we can only give our best advice. It's got to be your decision at the end of the day, but we hope that you feel like you've timed it right, that you've got the right property at the right opportunity, allowing you possibly to make some changes to it to make it really fit your requirements. And also, you've got to consider if you're moving up the market and property prices continue to grow, then it is likely that your property is going to grow in equity at a better rate than the current property you're in. So if your new home is at a higher value now and you've improved it, it's likely to grow more equity for you over the next period of time. So those are 5 things you should experience once you've done this. We are very good at this. We work very closely with a lot of the schools local to us. We do that because we know a lot of the parents at those schools local to us, and that's a great reason for you to consider using Nicol Co to help you in this journey. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with the team. We're geared up to work for you. We know what we're doing, so please get in touch.